What is happening, everybody? So, as always, welcome back. Welcome back to the Fantasy Football League. COVID won't stop us 2020. Some big things happening this year. I'm going to keep this video pretty short, though, honestly, because I don't have a lot of time to be doing this. But as always, I start with cracking my not beer this time, Twisted Tea, best stuff to be able to drink whenever you're trying to play sports. So, started off with that. All right. So, first and foremost, um, going through a couple of things of the need to know things that we've got, right? First, congrats to Mikey, our winner. Great job, Mikey. I believe he got the trophy, but I'm not positive on that. I think that you and Darius were talking about that, so hopefully you got your trophy. Congrats. Second place was Darius. Third place was Chase. Congratulations to Chase. Um, and also, y'all, this is our 5-year anniversary, which is awesome. Actually kept this thing going for 5 years already. Hope to continue it on forevermore, too. Um, if there's anybody that cannot play this season, let me know immediately so I can try and find somebody. It looks like everybody's in, though. Everybody's kind of been communicating a little bit. So, other than that, let's just kick it off, get right into it. So just looking at the page, obviously, again, this year we're going to be using Sleeper. I know there's been a couple of questions and stuff that's popped up over here on the right side. So obviously, you have a lot of these trade options that people are bringing up. You can simply go on there and just select trade and then make them an offer. You can certainly do that before our season even starts if you want to. One thing that I do want to mention is in my pinned messages. So anytime you want to go to the pinned messages, just come up here. Highly advise checking that every time that you like log on if you can. I'm going to remove these ones coming up soon. But all this is describing is just pinned messages, how to get there. This is some draft day information and a couple of changes and things that have popped up down here. So go into the pinned messages and take a look at that. All right. We're going to talk about some of those things that I brought up already. But one thing I want to mention is like me, for instance, and my team right here, I made a free agent move, right? It's called, and I dropped a player. So the reason I dropped a player is because I have to drop a player. If you have 28 people on your team, 28 players on your team, but you had someone in the IR spot last season, that means that you now have 29 on your team. So that being said, you have to drop one player to at least get your roster to 28. From the 28, then you will be selecting 20 keepers. So somewhere around here, it'll say, so like right here, whenever I go to the draft section up here on the top left, it says 20 of 20 keepers set. Here's the thing. 20 keepers is the max that I can do through this if I'm doing it kind of like a keeper league. So we're keeping it dynasty. It's still considered dynasty, but we're keeping 20 players. All right. And then when everybody has their keepers set and we're all good to go for the draft, all available players will be there, and we will only simply have we'll have 8 rounds of drafting. Okay, so this year instead of 7 rounds of drafting, it's 8 rounds, and that's because we're dropping 8 players as compared to 7 like we did last season. Now that being said, because I had to make that change, the change that we're also going to make to this is that you can drop your kicker for one, and all of your other players, you can drop whoever you want. There is no limit, there's no nothing, right? So you get to keep whoever you want to keep and drop the rest of them. So if you want to completely revamp your defense this season and you want to drop every single player on your defense, you can. If you want to drop all of your quarterbacks and all of your defense, whatever it is, I don't care. You can drop whoever you want. Okay, so that's a big change that we're going to be experiencing with this season. Some things I'll point out here, and I'll be mentioning this again, but keepers lock on Sunday, August 25th. So you've got 7 days, roughly 7 days to get those keepers in. So please, this week, throughout this week, figure out who you want your keepers to be. Once that locks, it's locked. And I'm not going to go back and be messing with everybody's teams to get them the way that they want them afterwards. Like, not going to happen. Everybody has the same amount of time to make their keepers selections. So everybody's got to get it done. Subsequently, 7 days after that, then is when we're doing our draft. The draft is going to be Sunday, September 1st at 7:30 p.m. Eastern time. So that should give everybody a decent amount of time to be able to draft and everything, including even Ivan, who's overseas. Ivan, just hit me up if you need any guidance on that, or if it's not going to work for you or whatever, just let me know. These are not the current divisions. We'll be selecting those here tonight on this video. All right. Da-da-da-da-da-da. We went over the keepers due. Draft day is. Um, I will also say this though, I'm not sure if the draft day is going to be a snake or not. I'm not sure if it lets you select in here or not how you can do it. If I remember correctly from last year, it was a snake draft. So if it is a snake draft, it is what it is. If I can't make that change in here, I can't make the change. I will put it in a message to all of you though and make sure that you're aware whether it's a snake or whether it's not, because obviously that drastically affects how you do your drafting. I get it. All right. So next thing we're just going to run through real quick is going to be scoring settings. Okay. So I don't think anything really changed with this. Um, there's still a minimum $1 bid. You're gonna have $50 that you can use for bidding going forward. Okay, so just be aware of that. That's the fab budget bidding and stuff. Ba, 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 ba. Trades, I'll make this known right away as well, and I'll probably bring it up again at the end. Trades can happen anytime you want, up until probably it's going to be about like week 11, something like that. May say it in here actually, but I'm not sure. But trades are no longer going to have a period of whether they're good or not. As soon as the second person accepts the trade, it automatically processes. Now, granted, that might take 24 hours to do on their side of things, so just be careful with that. Make sure you read into the rules about it. Um, but there will be no more voting. If a trade seems unfair in any way, or people are complaining about it, it just doesn't seem right, just simply mention it to me, and I'll review it and see what's going on. If we have to have a conversation about it, we'll have a conversation about it. But I don't want to run into any issues where we did last year with people making trades and then the trade's not going through and so on and so forth. So it's just going to be set to automatic. If it's accepted, it's accepted. The roster changes happen. Mind you, 24 hours maybe. Just be paying attention. Okay, so trade deadline is going to be the 11th, week 11. So before week 11, you can make all of your trades. Once we start approaching that, you know, place where people are trying to get into playoffs and everything, which is going to start we have week 14 is when it's going to start. Um, no trades can be happening during that time. Obviously, we don't want people thrown off. So the team that you've got by week 11 is the team that you're using going forward, pending any free agent additions and stuff that you have. Okay. So scoring, I don't think anything really changed with this one. Still pretty much the same exact stuff here for the most part. Um, Defense, I think what we'll end up doing is pretty much keeping everything the way that it is. So you do have like IDP stuff. So sacks are 2, touchdowns are 6, no sack yards, no hits on quarterback. We'll have tackle will be um, one 1 point for every tackle that you get. Interception is 3. Da, 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 da. Forced fumbles 2. Safeties 2. So yeah, okay. So you have solo tackle is 1. Assisted tackle is 0.5, and then pass defended. So they just get a hand on it, and that they don't get the pass. That's 1. So I am gonna make this back to 0. All right. So again, same stuff. Every 10 yards is 1 point for rushing, and then receiving. It is PPR in our league, so PPR once every 1 point every reception as well. Okay, so nothing really changes for that. But now one big thing that y'all want to get into is going to be our season draft order. All right. So with the draft order, um, it basically reverses, right? So you have the top 3 people who made money last season. They're always going to be the bottom 3 for the next draft. That's just how we do it. So we have Mikey, 12th, Darius, and then Chase. Okay. This one, so I got 4th place. However, when it comes to record and when it comes to points for, which is what we did last year as well, and all the previous years as well, Pennington slots in at the 9th spot, okay? And then I am currently in the 8th spot. So As far as record went from last season, it went records and then points for. We didn't have any ties with that, so it worked out well. So we've got Dawson's going to be number one, then my old man, then Steven, Jackson, Ivan, Orlando, Frank, me, Pennington, Chase, Darius, Mikey, and then again, remember this might snake. I'm not sure. So then we would just reverse that and go back down through round two. So keep in mind, you've got that. You can pause this video on that if you want to. Take a look at it and see what you've got. All right. Next part up though. This is the big one. This is usually the good stuff right here. So we have our handy little cards like we did last year of all the different names and stuff. So I'm going to give these a quick shuffle in front of y'all. Um, Obviously, I haven't done this yet, so I just created this and we'll be picking. I'll punch in how we're going to do our divisions and whatnot. So it's going to go, the first four picks are going to establish Division 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then from there, just next one in Division 1, Division 2, Division 3, Division 4, so on and so forth. So these are going to be the picks as we go. I'm going to get out my lucky Steelers hat here, as you guys all know. Give that a little mixing. Okay. All right. I'll keep the hat up here so y'all know that I'm not cheating and looking in the pail, if you will. All right. So the first one to set off Division 1 is gonna be Chase. Dope. Okay. Second one gonna be Mikey. Good stuff, Mikey. Give it a mix here. Next one up, Steven. Good stuff. Next one up, Ivan. Okay. All right. Back up into Division 1 now. Who's going to be partnered up with Chase? It's going to be Frank. Next up, who's going to be with Mikey? Wayno. All right. And then Division 3 with Steven is going to be Patrick. Okay. Division 4 with Ivan is going to be Orlando. All right. And to finish off, Division 1 with Chase and Frank is going to be Dawson. By the way, speaking of which, with Dawson, I will be posting his video onto my YouTube as well, so y'all can see him running his smile. I didn't even watch it yet myself, but he said it sucked. So, yeah, that'll be fun. All right, then going to Division 2 with Mikey and Wayno. It's going to be Darius. Okay, and then Division 3, Steven and Patrick. Going to be El Jefe. I can't remember if Patrick and I were in the same division last season. I think we were. Last but not least, then, we got Anthony, who's going to tie us up to finish it up with Ivan and Orlando. Oof, that's a good division right there. Woo! All right, y'all. So that is it. Those are the ones for the divisions. Division 1, Chase, Frank, and Dawson. Division 2, Mikey, Wayne, Darius. 3 is Steven, Patrick, and El Jefe. Division 4 is Ivan, Orlando, and Anthony. Are there any questions? Great. I didn't think there would be. All right, good stuff. So, um, last minute things just to tie up on, and then we can finish up this video. Uh, any questions or anything that you have, just feel free to go into the um, our sleeper page here over on the right side. You've got your comment section. Just go on the comment section. Uh, with Wayno here, so I did want to mention this too. Wayno has made 3 drops, so that is technically incorrect. So we're gonna have you change that. You're probably gonna have to drop somebody off your team because maybe you had 29, but you're gonna have to drop it down to 28. The rest of them, you just set your keepers, and these guys will automatically drop for you. So just be aware of that. We'll chat more about it then. All right, so same cost for everybody, right? $100 due to me by September 2nd. I think the season starts that first week of September. I'm not sure which day it is, but I'm gonna need everybody's payment by then. So that gives you, you had your 15th paycheck recently. Then you're gonna have your September 1st paycheck as well. Figure it out. Figure out when you gotta pay me. Let me know what's going on with that. Venmo me, Cash App me, Navy Fed me, whatever you gotta do. Just let me know. Okay. Again, we already discussed about trades are no longer reviewed, okay? Trades are going to be going through automatically. Y'all dictate and determine that on your own. If there's an issue with it, bring it up to me. I'll review it and we'll go from there. Dawson's punishment video, that'll be posted on here. I was going to put it in this video, but I think I'll just keep it separate so y'all can just go and watch it whenever. All right, so 2 questions to end this. First question is, we have to determine what our punishment is going to be. What would y'all like the punishment to be? Last year's that was in contention for what we were going to do, but didn't end up making it through was the Waffle House idea. So that one can be in contention this year too, unless you guys have some greater options. Just let me know. Like the more the merrier, and we can have a vote on it. We'll just do the vote through either through Facebook or we'll do it through Sleeper here. So let me know what you guys come up with, and we'll make it happen. And then also the question becomes, or something else that I want to ask rather, is do we want to switch up our last place loser? So personally, the way that I set this league up and the way that I like to do it is if you're dead last place, then you're dead last place and you're the one who's going to end up doing the punishment. But Sleeper does allow you to do a toilet bowl, which we did last year. And so we can either do the last place loser is whoever has the worst record and the worst points for, or if y'all want to make it the toilet bowl, we can do that, which means it kind of just gives somebody who's had a horrible season, maybe the beginning of the season, or maybe a bunch of their players got hurt mid-season and then are coming back towards the end of the season for like playoffs and whatnot. They have a shot to redeem themselves in their horrible season that they had essentially. But if you guys would want to do that as well, let me know. Just put that in the messages like, yes, I vote for the toilet bowl to happen and that determines our loser, whatever. But again, I'll probably just make it a vote. So other than that, that's really about it that I've got for you guys. If there's questions or concerns, hit me up in the sleeper chat. And that should be it. All right. Have a great night, y'all.